everybody, my name is Ranjit Paul. I teach in Litera Zee School Maheshtala. Today I'm going to narrate a very beautiful story about a boy named Henrik. Now every nation has its own myths and legends, and the story about Henrik is such a famous legend who saved his country Holland. Henrik would be 10 years old in 10 months. All his life he heard about the dikes. He knew that a big part of Holland, his homeland, lay below the sea level, and the only things that protected it from being flooded were the dunes and dikes. The dikes, which were made by humans, were the most important. Since very long ago, Hollanders had put up great mounds of earth and sod to save their land from the tides. It was a cruel war between the rising of the sea and the strength of dikes, and for many years the sea threatened to win. But the Hollanders loved their country and would not allow the sea to drive them out from there. They fought back the waters that roared in from the North Sea. They protected the soil with longer and larger dikes, using barriers of clay and stone as well as bricks. One day, as Henrik roamed further than he had ever done, much further than he had intended, the sky was darkening when he turned towards home. There was no time to watch anything except the shady, unfamiliar road. It was a still, chill, stormy evening. The birds had gone to their nests. There was no sound in the air except Henrik listened intently. He did not want to believe what he heard, but he knew too well what it was. It was the sound of water. Nothing much, only a trickle, but Henrik knew what it would mean. He knew that the trickle would soon become a gurgle, then there would be a gush, followed by a rush, and then a roar, and the North Sea would sweep in. For a moment he stood bewildered. It was growing dark, hard to see, hard to locate a small leak in the dike. Finally he found it, a few feet from the ground. He could reach it. It was, as he suspected, a small leak, enough to be stopped with one finger. At first he was not worried. He even felt a little heroic, elated to see that the finger of a small boy could hold the mighty waters in check. Besides, he thought it would not be long, someone would sure pass by, still what was happening, and get people to repair the damage. But the stillness continued, stillness and loneliness. As the night came on, Henrik grew colder. His hand pained him. There was cramps in his arm. Soon his entire side felt numb. He could not tell how long he had hunched. Hours seemed to pass. He called and cried, but there was no answer. No help came. The pain frightened him, but he could not take the finger away from the dike. The air was freezing. He was afraid he would drop from fatigue. He stamped his feet to stamp the cold. He rubbed his still arm with the fingers of his other hand to keep the blood flowing. He was dizzy. Pain stabbed every part of his body, but he would not remove his finger from the dike. It was almost dawn when he saw a man with a stick in his hand. Henrik almost fainted. It was the laborer returning from working after the whole night. Henrik's parents had seen and looking for him all the night. But it was this laborer who found this boy. He immediately called for help. The leak was plugged soon. The dike was strengthened in weeks. A great part of Holland was saved. Years passed and many things were forgotten, but the country is still grateful to this small little boy. who kept his finger in the dike. The moral of the story is, in order to save the life of the people with whom you live, you need to have an unconditional love. Okay? Only the unconditional love can create a heart within that you would sacrifice your life to save their lives at the same time. So this is the moral of the story. With this moral, I say you goodbye. I'll come back to you with a new story very soon. Until then, take care. Goodbye.